welcome to another episode of Nightcap with Nightcat. I am your host, Jackson Carter, aka Nightcat. Thank you so much for being here. Freddie was bothering me all day while I recorded, so he had to be part of the intro because otherwise he wouldn't stop screaming until I held him. I want to address, before we get into tonight's show, hours before I posted our first ever episode, domestic terrorists stormed the U.S. Capitol, which resulted in 5 people's deaths. 5 people died because the world's largest collection of G.I. Joe cosplayers decided to storm the U.S. Capitol with weapons. And the news ever since then has been really horrifying as well. I encourage you to keep up on it, but let's breathe. Let's just try to power through this together because everything has been a nightmare. And you're so lucky because you get to turn your brain off for the next few minutes. Let's watch my stupid show, and let's get into the LITTERBOX.
Ew, what stinks in here?
The LITTERBOX is the part of the show where we go through some of the dumb news headlines. I love all the dumbest possible news because it doesn't keep me up at night. I feel like, especially after this last week, we could use a little stupid in our life, right? A little harmless stupid. Like this gal over in the UK. In Gateshead, England, Kate Wilkinson was walking her dog when she made a startling discovery. Down in the mud, she found a toe just popping right up. Now, she thought exactly what I thought if I had seen this. Take a look at that. That's a toe. That's a toe if I've ever seen a toe. Well, obviously, there's a body down underneath the mud. So she calls the police. The police arrive. They dig it out themselves. And they realize that it is a toe, just not the kind of toe Katie and I thought it was. It was a potato. That's a potato. It looks exactly like a human toe. Katie was a little bit embarrassed, but she walked away. And you know what? I'm glad that she called the cops anyway. See something, say something, kids. Don't forget. This next one is a cautionary tale. I know a lot of us are getting lonely. It's getting to the point where it's Valentine's Day. We want to cuddle up to someone. And a lot of us are going to get our vaccine. So we're going to make some pretty bad decisions come dating season. Well, don't forget your basic cardinal rules. If you meet someone online, meet them in public first, let someone know where you're going, and don't go to a second location. Here's why. In Louisville, Kentucky, a woman named Bridget Skaggs was recently arrested because she robbed her Plenty of Fish date. I guess they had met on Plenty of Fish, and it got to the time where she was like, hey baby, why don't you come on over to my hotel for some hokey pokey, some hanky panky, some nookie, whatever the kids might call it. They were gonna get down. But when he arrived, he didn't get no nookie. He didn't get no hanky panky. Instead, he got shoved up against a wall by Bridget and one of her associates. Tied up, they drove to his home where they stole his smartphone and his gun. As soon as they left, obviously, he called the authorities. And wouldn't you know it, they went right back to the same motel where they picked up their victim because they're a bunch of dummies. The police immediately arrested them. They did return the smartphone and the gun, but it could have gone a lot worse. So remember, know where you're going, tell someone else where you're going, and don't go to second locations with strangers. It's always bad news. I love a little bit of street justice. Oddity Central says that a man in Hanoi, Vietnam was recently tied to a tree with plastic wrap because he did not pay for his tattoo. Now, apparently, he got this tattoo and he was a little shy of the total. By the way, I just found out that in Vietnam, he was a few dong short. That's the currency that he was short. He was dong short, which I thought was very funny. But he was a few dong short on the total. The tattoo artist was like, you know what, just pay me later. And then he never did. So the tattoo artist eventually tracks him down and does the very sensible thing. Has a couple of his buddies take all of his clothes off, saran wrap him to a tree, and put a sign on him that says, and I quote, "I hate paying for tattoos." The owner went on to say, he didn't have the money to pay me even after the punishment, but don't worry, I forgave him. Yeah, I think once you've tied a naked man to a tree, all debts are forgiven. I think that you have gotten your money's worth, bud. And finally, I feel like companies are really trying hard to wow us, to shock us, to bring us in with some new gimmick, some new merch. KFC's always dropping something like a KFC video game or a Colonel Sanders pool float, which actually I think looks pretty cool. But Jack Link's is going above and beyond the rest of them already for Valentine's Day. Jack Link's Jerky is selling a Valentine's Day box that is filled with jerky and covered in fur. Who says that you gotta put chocolate in there? Why not dried meat? Nothing says I love you, my love, quite like here's a box full of dried meat covered in hair. Your favorite. People started to spot these at Target and posted them all over social media. And when I saw them, I was just like, God, that's so stupid. Look at that. What kind of idiot would waste their money on something like that? What kind of idiot would waste their money on something like that? I'm just kidding. I love it. I had to immediately run out and get one. Let's take a look and see what's going on in here. I don't want to ruin it because obviously this is going to be a collector's item. It's really soft. How does this open? Oh, there we go. All right. So here is what's in the Jack Link's Valentine's Day box. It's 2 of the smallest bags of jerky I've ever seen. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe more jerky? The box is empty. It's just 2 tiny bags of jerky. This was $8. This was $8. A merkin and jerky. A Murky was $8 at the Target. What a waste of money. And that is the litter box. Now let's move on to another segment that I like to call Sunken Treasure. Sunken Treasure is the part of the show where we dig through my collection, my Harry Potter toy collection / retro toy collection. I've got a lot of toys in this house right now. And I dig one of them out and we talk about it and we play with it. And I'm really excited to actually open this one. I am a big fan of all these Harry Potter candy makers that they made. I've got this crazy snake one that you make little gummy bugs and then the snake injects venom into it and it's candy venom. And then there's another one where it's like a spider and he spits marshmallow webs and you build gummy bugs and throw them in the web. The Harry Potter candy makers were super cool. Now this is pre-movie merch. And I know that because if you take a look at the expiration date here on there, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it all that well, but the candy inside of this expired in 2003. So it's not exactly fresh to death. This came out in 2001, I want to say. Part of the reason I've been opening these is because the candy inside is getting really gross and it started to seep through the packaging and it's going to ruin the boxes, and the boxes are really great. We're going to open this up. We're going to clean out some of the candy and maybe we'll see what we can make out of this. I don't even know what would still work in here. But if we can build some candy, by God, we're gonna do it. Ooh, I could have been more delicate. I'm sorry. Ooh, all right. We got ourselves a little watering can, a little trowel. Professor Sprout does it up. We're going on an awesome field trip. Bucket. Okay, cool. We've got some bug molds, spider, a worm, and some weird slugs. Eat slugs! And our packages of candy mixes, wiggly bug and slug mix, pond slime mix. If you're into some sludgy pond slime, I've got you. At some point, I'm sure it was a powder, but it is solid. It's not even cracking in half. Chocolate mushrooms and forbidden forest soil. Fill the chocolate mushroom garden with enchanted chocolate mushroom mix. Oh, she's chunky. Oh, I should use the proper tools. The trowel. Oh yeah. Ooh, she does not smell right. She smells like protein powder that's gone bad. Ugh. Allegedly, according to these instructions, I'm supposed to dig holes here in the mushroom garden. And I think that's like the most holes I can dig. I don't understand how to do that. A little bit of cold water from the watering can and the mushroom should grow. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. The anticipation is killing me. Oh wait, oh okay. Yeah, I can kind of see it. Kinda. While those mushrooms work themselves out, let's try to do some pond slime. Pond slime! 3 scoops! Oh, she does not smell good, I'll tell you what. I don't know which one's the 15 milliliter mark, so we're just gonna go with God on this. Ew! Oh, it looks like boogers! That's nothing but boogers, is it? Just boogies. It smells so bad. I don't know what went bad in this. I don't know if any of it's natural enough to go bad. Oh, it smells so bad. I can't get too close to that side anymore. It smells so bad. I don't know what went bad in this, but something went awfully bad. I'm not even going to attempt to eat these because I know I'm gonna vomit. Alright, so the mushrooms didn't work, the pond slime didn't work, and the bug mix is so hard, I don't even think I'm gonna be able to get it out of the container. All in all, I'm gonna chalk this toy up to, it would be great if it had candy. It does not have candy that works. It gets a 4 out of 5 in my heart, because it's Professor Sprout, but it gets a 0 out of 5 for being a toy that you can enjoy right now, because I'm not enjoying myself. I'm about to puke. Alright, let's get out of here. I can't handle it anymore. Let's do some Nightcat Classic Tales. I had to go get cozy for this, because Nightcat Classic Tales are where I relive a past trauma for your amusement. Now, this is a Nightcat Classic Tale that I have told so many times. You may even have heard it before. But it's such an iconic Nightcat Classic Tale, I couldn't live with myself if it wasn't one of the first ones I told on this show. This is the story of the worst date I've ever been on. This is probably about 6-7 years ago. It doesn't really matter. I meet this guy on Tinder. He reaches out and says, do you want to go to a concert? It's classical music. And I go, no, I'm not interested in a chamber orchestra. Only I said yes, and I was like, well, what do I have to wear? And he goes, I'm just wearing a button-up and jeans, don't worry about it. I go, okay. He goes, awesome. I know someone that can get us in. You don't have any plans for dinner, right? I go, no. And he goes, awesome. Why don't you just come to my house? The concert's at 7:30. Just come to my house at 6, and we'll head up there and we'll go to the concert. I go, all right, fine. And I get dressed, go to his house, pull into the parking lot. He's sitting in the parking lot, and he says, you haven't eaten dinner yet, have you? And I go, no. And he goes, oh, okay, here, I made you a sandwich. And he handed me a sandwich on a paper plate wrapped in tinfoil. He says, it might taste a little funny because the ciabatta bread is old. Now, to every other normal English-speaking person, when you say, you don't have dinner plans, do you? And then you plan a date for an hour and a half before the event, that means you're gonna go out and get dinner. But nope, I got a tinfoil wrapped sandwich on a paper plate with old bread. We're heading up to the concert, and he's like frantically looking for parking. He's looking all over the place. He can't find any parking anywhere. And he said, and I go, why are you, I thought the concert didn't start till 7:30. And he goes, it doesn't. I go, well then why are you trying so hard to find a parking space? He's like, well, we have to be there early. We're ushering. Oh yeah, he knows someone who can get us in is code for we're going to usher and allow everyone else in. And then he says to me, I guess we could have paid for tickets, but who has $15? We're ushering, now I have to work, I'm starving, and I have to work for my ticket to a concert I don't want to be at. I'm there, I'm ushering, I'm trying to have a good attitude about it. And remember, he told me specifically to wear a button-up and jeans. I asked him and he said a button-up and jeans. About halfway through our usher shift, the mean little gay who's in charge of all the ushers, the least amount of power anyone has ever had, he's in charge of the ushers at this tiny music venue. He walks up to me and this guy and he says, you know what, actually, I'm gonna have you two take your seats because I found a couple people who are a little more dressed for the part. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He looked me up and down, and he found a couple people who are a little more dressed for ushering. He drives me to his apartment so I can get to my car, and he's encouraging me to come upstairs. And I tell him, no, thank you. I'm tired. Because I don't want to go up to your crappy apartment and watch some crappy movie, probably on DVD, because who has $10 for Netflix? That is another Nightcat Classic Tale. Now I'm gonna tuck you little kittens into bed with some warm milk. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for some sleep, and that is the goal with Warm Milk. Good news stories to help you fall asleep at night. This one comes to us from Pickering, England. TheRealFix.com recently ran an article about a woman named Tina Rush. Now, Tina lives with 12,500 teddy bears. It all kind of started when she started doing repairs for teddy bears. She would take in kind of hammered ones, she'd fix them up, and then she'd donate them to people who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford a really nice bear. She talks all about it in this article on TheRealFix.com. She's just the cutest in the entire world. She also sells these bears as an effort to raise money for asthma organizations because her daughter did die of a very rare form of asthma in 2016, so that's a way that she honors her memory. Her oldest bear is 77 years old. Tina says sometimes she'll just open up the door and people will have left teddy bears on the stoop for her to fix. So everywhere you turn in her house, it's nothing but teddy bears in the middle of or having been fixed, which I just love. I'll tell you what, if in 30 years I'm not running a teddy bear nursing home out of my living room, something went terribly wrong. That is exactly the trajectory that I am on right now. Thank you so much for joining another episode of Nightcap with Nightcat. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and please share it. All of your favorite segments from the show are isolated and put up as separate videos on the channel. So if you just want to share the LITTERBOX, or if you just want to share Sunken Treasure, or if you just want to show people what was inside of that meat heart, I got you covered. Make sure to share, subscribe, like, and follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description of this video. I'll see you next time.